Good Wednesday morning, August 24th, 2022. Watching the news, listening to the news last night, local news, and they were talking about Illinois getting $500 million as a part of the Inflation Reduction Act. Might as well call it what it is, green payout grease bill, green grease bill, where they grease green energy. You know, this green energy stuff is a misnomer anyway, because it's not really all that healthy for the planet if you think about it. You think about what has to go into the solar panels and the silver and the different components that you have to take out of the ground to manufacture these things. And then what do you do with them when they're no good? Same with the windmills. What do you do with the windmills, these huge monstrosities? Out here in the Midwest, especially in my area, there's a lot of windmills. I can look over here and see windmills. You can drive down the road, windmill farm. And I think they have to take up, you have to have 5 acres for each one. So you're eating up a lot of farmland to put these windmills up. And I mean, there are some, I can look over the horizon. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom. And there's a lot of ground that's getting taken up with these windmills. And so you look at it that way, hey, you know, we're losing food production. And right now is probably not a good time to be losing food production. I'm off on a tangent again. I was going to talk about something else, but I'm going to keep going with it because you look at what's happening in Europe. They're talking about collapse of their food supply. You look what happened in California and in the Southwest and the West here in the United States, where they're having drought conditions, not going to have the yields that are anticipated. You look at the drought maps, and the potential is that we're going to be in some serious issues. This is projected, you know, so who knows? They projected the world was going to end by now anyway because of climate change. But if you look at what happens, what kind of cycle we're in right now, food production might be the most important thing we can do. And so by taking that land, great land that grows anything, ask my neighbor Magic Mitch, it'll just grow in this dirt. And now you're going to put a big windmill up there, and then inevitably, I mean, it doesn't matter. The wind can be blowing. Every time you go by one of these windmill farms, there's a couple of them not working. At least one, 2, 3, 4 sometimes. They're not turning. I don't know if they've got to be constantly maintained and greased and oiled, and who knows. And then what do you do with these huge blades? Have you seen the windmill blades being transported on the road and the columns and pieces? These things are huge. Takes a full semi, and then you got cars in front and behind, wide load. They can't take corners. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to watch these things. And they come in pieces, each windmill. So there's a lot that goes into getting the thing, and producing the thing, and then getting it there and putting it up. And how much oil does it use? And then what happens when you need to get rid of it? You just throw it in a landfill? I mean, because at some point it wears out. And all this metal, where do you put that stuff? I don't know. But it's just it's a factor that goes into it. You think everything's green, but is it really green because of what it takes to produce it? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, take that, get that off. No lights today. Why am I rolling the window down? Don't know, because I'm gonna open the door. Okay, finally. What a chore. That thing went out. So it's not as green as you think. But back to my main point, $500 million are coming to Illinois out of the Inflation Reduction Act. So if it's reducing inflation, where'd the $500 million come from? $500 million. $500 million just given to one state. And it's to go toward the production of all things, ethanol. And we grow a lot of corn in Illinois. I think we're the second largest producer of corn behind Iowa. Messed that up. Put the sunroof down. But we've got all this corn. And so, open this door up and smoke up the DigiByte. I just washed the DigiByte. The DigiByte's clean right now and had a bath. Just post a picture on Twitter. But $500 million toward this green energy, this ethanol, supposedly. Well, ethanol is not that great on small engines, or any engine for that matter. This corn-based gasoline, basically what it is, corn-based fuel. and they subsidize it with money that's just printed up, have these farmers grow more corn so that they can use it in this ethanol. And so, oh, it's cheaper. You can fill up your car cheaper because you go to the fuel tanks. You go to the gas station and you look at, gasoline, $4 a gallon. Ethanol might be $3.20 or something, $3.25 or, whatever. It's cheaper because it's got more corn in it. Well, now you're taking more food off the market, using more cropland to, supply the vehicle. Not saying it's wrong. I mean, if it's right, it's right. The thing is, though, it's always subsidized. You always have to print money up to make sure that it gets produced. So the free market, the market itself is not even determining that that's the best solution. It's the government, again, picking winners and losers. And the only way they can do that is if they print money up. And that's what they just did with this bill, this green bill, this fake save inflation, reduce inflation, this increase inflation bill. Because it's obvious, $500 million. And they stand up there like we're stupid. Well, it's going to reduce inflation. And now they're like, well, over time, over 10 years, it might reduce inflation. And it's just, I mean, how stupid do they think we are? They just they can put whatever they want on the bill. They could have a slavery bill and say it's the freedom bill. And that's what they do. Hey, we're going to enslave everybody, but we're going to call it freedom. New freedom. It's the new freedom bill. So whatever it says doesn't mean anything. You just got to look at the results, and one result is $500 million coming to Illinois for corn production. So they can develop the ethanol more. I don't know. And so it goes to sustainability. What is real sustainability? I mean, it's nice that you got a renewable crop that can fuel things. It's just that, is it the right thing to be using right now? I don't know. And is it the right thing to be using right now when you have to just create money out of nothing to do it? See, all of this would work itself out if we had sound money, because we'd make more sound choices. We would say, okay, well, this makes the most sense. I mean, again, if you only have so much money to work with in your budget, you're making tough decisions. Government doesn't have to make tough decisions. They can just fulfill an agenda because they can create the money out of nothing. As long as we accept it and say it's okay, and oh yeah, you can put that in my pension, put those dollars into my pension, it'll be all great. Put those dollars into Social Security, I'll get it someday. As long as we agree to that and say that, oh yeah, that's the way we want to do business, and every day continue to do business that way, then they're going to keep doing it. And they're going to keep creating the money and keep putting it into things that really probably shouldn't be receiving it. And so that's government at its finest, picking winners and losers, being wasteful. And it's the way it is. And we've got to wake up to the fact that the system does nothing but rob us of our energy. I beat that dead horse all the time. They're vampires, a vampire casino. You're playing with their poker chips. They're doing whatever they want with it. And then they're going to make it digital. They're going to try this CBDC stuff, this central bank digital currency. And then that's horrible because, it's very efficient though. Yeah, it's very efficient. Cuts out a lot of waste. Don't have to print up money. I'll haul money around from bank to bank. I get it. That's what crypto's for. That's what this digital money is for. The problem is they're going to control it just like they do now, except they're going to have more control. They're going to be able to shut it off when they want, put time limits on it. And, well, you know what? Westwood, you're a little overweight right now. You shouldn't be going to the store and buying anything except no calorie items. That's got too many calories in it, so it won't work for that item. And total control grid. Nothing you can do about it. Just eat it. Just love it. And guess what? You're due for your booster. Your booster's outdated. 3 months have passed. It's outdated. It's no longer effective. So you need another one. And if you do that, first they'll incentivize it and say, well, if you get your booster, it's like they did in the pandemic. If you go get your prick in your arm, we'll give you a free slice of pizza or free beer. I'm like, oh, yeah. Come on, can I get 2? I'm hungry today. Thirsty, too. And that's what they're going to do. They'll incentivize it at first, and then they'll make it mandatory. They'll say, well, CBDC is only going to have 80% of the 100% value you're supposed to get this month. We're only going to send 80% of it because you didn't have that booster. It's outdated. So, you're causing an undue risk on the health system, and it's just a cost savings to everybody else. You got to pay your fair share. I mean, this is the same old stuff they always do. That's what's coming. They're just going to have a greater ability to control you because they control the money. Completely control the money. Right now, they hate it that they have cash out there. People can pay with cash and actually be independent and sovereign and carry out private transactions. They hate it. So we need to do away with that. Now, it's going to go digital. That's what they want it to do. So you got to have sound money for the digital age. You've got to look into Litecoin. It has privacy features built in. Think of Litecoin as electronic cash with a limited supply. So there's only so much cash out there. And when you get it, you have it in your possession. And you can actually send a private transaction using Mimblewimble, the technology that's built into Litecoin, right on the blockchain. Privacy feature. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Litecoin has it. And Litecoin's way undervalued. There's only 84 million, only enough for 1/100th of a Litecoin for every person in the world. Only enough for 1/4 of a Litecoin for each person in the United States. Limited supply. Under $60 for one whole Litecoin. Wait a minute, I can get a whole Litecoin for $60, less than $60? And there's only enough to go around for 0.01 for each person in the world? And I can get 100 times that? One whole Litecoin for under $60? And it's actually going to allow me to hold it in my possession outside of a central bank, outside of a government, in my own possession. And I can send it anytime, 365 days a year, 366 days on a leap year. I can do it on a Sunday, 24/7, when the banks are closed. I can send a private transaction where nobody knows where it came from, how much I sent, and who I sent it to. It's starting to sound like digital cash without the cocaine on it. Very interesting. For $60, I can get a whole Litecoin? Huh. Maybe I should save one of those for each one of my children, each one of my family members, and just forget about it. Lock it up, because they're really going to be living in the digital age. Might be a good idea for them to have something like that, especially if they have these CBDCs that they control. Huh. Wow. I should look into Litecoin. Yeah, you should look into Litecoin. I keep harping about it. I keep preaching about it. It's because I believe in it. And if something happens to where I can't believe in it anymore, I'll tell you. I'll be the first one. But for 11 years in October 13th, it'll have been running for 11 years nonstop, validating transactions. What runs for 11 years? What runs for 11 years? Well, Bill Clinton's been running for a long time. Probably not looking over his back because of the, anyway, control apparatus, that they... Maybe he doesn't even exist anymore. I don't even see him anymore. Hillary, I mean, how many different Hillarys are there? I mean, every time I see a picture of her, I mean, it's just like, I know they have body doubles, Trump's got a body double. They all have body doubles. George Bush, they talked about it, had a body double, senior. I mean, they all do, but I mean, it's just like, it's out in the open. You've got multiple Hillary Clintons. I don't even know if the real one's alive anymore. It's just crazy. All right, down the rabbit hole we go. But that really doesn't matter. It's just, everything's an illusion. I guess that's the point on that tangent. Everything's an illusion. Your money's an illusion. It's created out of nothing. And they say, hey, this one here's the same size, shape, just got different ink on it. This one happens to just have a 1 on it, so it's worth $1. This one has a 1 and 2 zeros. So they had 2 zeros on it, put a different picture on it. Well, this was worth 100 times that. Okay. Just get your Litecoin. One Litecoin, and you have 100 times what everybody else is going to have. You can get it for under $60. Take that dirty fiat, that stuff that they create out of nothing. Again, $500 million to Illinois. Just created it. Here you go. And I mean, and that goes into things. That's going to buy things. That's going to, they're going to go in and they're going to want to, probably, I don't know, some component, for this whole ethanol system they're going to need. They're going to buy them all up, and there's going to be a shortage of them. And then everybody else that needs it can't buy it. Well, sorry, they all got bought up. Well, how'd they all get bought up? Well, they printed up $500 million and bought all of them. Now you can't get any of them. Now, wait a minute, that's not fair. That's not a free market. No, you're right. Now, what if that's something like eggs? They go in and buy up all the eggs with all that money. And then you go to get the eggs. It's like, well, sorry, there's an egg shortage. What do you mean there's an egg shortage? Well, somebody bought up all the eggs and they keep buying them. Well, how are they buying them? Where are they getting all this money? Well, they just kind of, I don't know, they made it up. I mean, they made it up. I can go to work and I get paid in this stuff, and then it's worth less and less every day. Well, how's that fair? Well, I mean, well, it's inflation reduction. It's reducing inflation. See the picture? Starting to see how things work? It's all fake, all an illusion. Completely. Money is just an illusion. It's a magic trick. Vampire casino, they're issuing poker chips. You're playing in the casino. You go to cash out, and they're like, no, it's not worth as much. No, it's $100,000 is now 50. What do you mean? I got like $100,000 here playing in this freaking game, this casino. Well, it's only worth 50 now. What do you mean? I need it. No, try and cash it out. That's all I can give you. So, you know, it's a rigged game. That's all it is. So looking to sound money, looking to getting things that are tangible. I mean, you know, and it's food too. You know, have a water source, have food, have things you need. But going forward, if you're going to need to get things you need, you're going to need money that actually works. Something that, you know, they just can't take away from you. That's why I harp on Litecoin. That's why, you know, it's a digital age. Litecoin, best form of money. Sound money for the digital age. Silver, it's a good thing to hold. You know, I mean, the technology, you know, you got to use silver for everything. You know, all these technological devices, and it's been money for thousands of years. So it serves two roles. It's just, you got to get things in your own possession. All right. You know, September's coming up, and they usually like to pull things in September. So be careful, be prepared. Now's the time. If you can do it, get what you need. Have it on hand. You know, start thinking about the winter. I mean, Europe's going to be suffering through the winter. They're going to have an energy crisis. I mean, what's going to happen here? You know, power bills, electric bills have gone way up. I mean, what's going to happen in the wintertime? If you don't have fuel, if you've got tanks, you know, propane tanks, get them filled up. Don't wait. You know, have the things that you need and try and make it through the winter, because, I mean, right now, it's about survival. It's about not losing. And if we can not lose and we can survive to fight another day and just keep chugging along, we're going to win. We've already won. It's just that not all of us are going to be around to see the victory. And that's a shame, because a lot of people don't have the mettle, don't have the stuff to continue fighting this thing. And the day-to-day just, oh my gosh, it's just ridiculous. Inundated with horrible stuff every day. I'm getting hit every day. I'm bleeding out. You know, I can't, you know, I can't make it. You know, inflation is killing me. I don't make enough money. I can't buy the things I need. You just got to survive, and you just find ways to needle through and survive. As long as you can get through this crisis that's coming, that we're really in, and it's going to accelerate, if we can get through that and have things on the other side that actually are going to work, then we're going to be okay. Preserve what you have and just get through and make it. Don't give up. I mean, that's what they want you to do. The vampire just wants you to say, okay, fine, go ahead, bite it. I'm done. Just give it to me. I mean, why do that to them? Why check out early? Screw them. They don't deserve any respect. They don't deserve to take that energy from you. Make it difficult for them. They're not smart. They do the same thing over and over again. Just follow the pattern. There's going to be a problem. Hey, we're going to react. Oh, then they're going to give a stupid solution that gives them more power. CBDC, look, it fixes everything. You know what? Screw that. Get something else that you can hold in your possession. Get things that you need. Take control. Be sovereign. Quit placating to these vampires. That's all they are. They have no energy if you don't give it to them. All right. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful Wednesday. Trust yourselves. Got to trust yourselves always. Someday it's going to be too late and you say, oh, I should have done it. I should have done it. I could have done it. I didn't do it. I had the capabilities to get it done. Thought about it. Rolled over, didn't do it. Do it. Just do it. Trust yourself. It's telling you. Your spirit, you know, inside your body, it's telling you, do this. Do it. Take control of your life. Trust yourself. All right. Love you all. Hit that thumbs up if you want. Share it with somebody if you think they're going to benefit from this. If not, don't share it. I don't want to bring anybody down. All right. Have a wonderful day. Love you all.